when she said that, I say, damn, it must be her turn.
Yeah.
You know, and as a black person, every time something come out of somebody's mouth and they say things to take another black person down who's a legacy artist, you know what I'm saying? I feel like your turn have came where you have to do something in the public that's either humiliating or humiliating somebody else that got status, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what Oprah did, because if that happened on your show and you told the people on your show don't put that footage out, that means you cared enough about about Whitney Houston when she was alive. Why wait till she died years later and bring that shit up? If you told other people don't put it out, what was the reason for you telling other people don't put it out then?
So Oprah has finally been called out for a lot of her behavior, man. You know, Oprah's been Oprah for a long time, man. My auntie used to watch Oprah religiously. But Oprah, she didn't call out Harvey Weinstein. When Harvey Weinstein got in trouble, she said this is a watershed moment. And she did all kinds of things to cover up a lot of stuff. She didn't use her platform to call him out at all. She came under fire when she opened up that school in Africa, but she didn't open up one here in America, right? Oprah is just known for just doing a lot of weirdo stuff with the platform that she's had because she's been compromised. She's been called out by entertainers, athletes, everybody. Right? She didn't like Ice Cube because Ice Cube called out a lot of stuff that those protected people was doing back in the day, and she never had him on the show. Monique has called her out, right? So we already know like her position. Well, now she's in trouble with a lot of black women and a lot of people, period, because she said some things about Whitney Houston that we know that Whitney Houston suffered from substance abuse before she went on to heaven, right? We know that she went through she was dealing with some substance abuse and some changes, right? Well, she brought up some stuff that we never knew about, right? That she could have kept to herself. And Whitney Houston is not here to defend herself, right? Whitney Houston is not here to say whether that was the truth or not the truth. But Oprah, with her platform, she said some things that people was upset about.
We did the whole "Hey girl, how you doing?" greeting thing, and then I stopped the cameras. And I went behind stage and I said, so tell me, what do you want? What do you want to happen here? And I'm going to tell you what I want to happen here. And that was one of the most powerful interviews. And do you all know this is an amazing thing that happened? I had such trust from the Oprah show audience that Whitney did, I think it was her last show with us, and she had gone back on drugs. The first interview I did with her when we'd gone behind stage and I asked her about her intention, she was clean. But the day she came to my show then to perform in front of the audience, she was not. And she fell off of the stage. And I knew that if that story got out that she'd fallen off of the stage, that she would be destroyed by that. And so even though the audience was there and the audience had cameras, I begged them not to put those pictures out because it would ruin her life, and they did not.
And what about...
That would not happen today, I can tell you.
Yeah. What about...
Now, in my opinion, she's telling a story that she didn't have to tell because she went out of her way not to tell it, just as Turk said. She went out of her way to make sure that she covered Whitney in that because she knew that Whitney was dealing with substance abuse. She knew that Whitney had that monkey on her back that she couldn't shake, right? She knew that. You were supposed to be her friend. You got all the money. You're the great Oprah Winfrey. What do you need? What are you gaining by coming out telling this story now, right? Knowing that it was going to upset a lot of people, especially a lot of people that love Whitney, that want to remember her in a positive way. Remember her, that want to remember her in a loving way. You want to bring up all the negativity for what? What did you gain out of this? What did you gain out of this? And all you did was add fuel to the fire that Monique was saying about you, right? And Monique was calling you out about you, Tyler Perry, and the industry, and how you are one of the main ones in industry that actually hold black people back when they don't want to play ball.
Before I let you go, what is one question you're surprised that nobody asked you?
That's a good one, baby. What's the one question you would like to ask me that no one has asked me?
That's an even better one. Now, how you gonna hit me back with
because I don't know the questions. I don't know what you want an answer to.
What is a secret conversation you have had on the side with somebody in the industry that you have never told, but it will make an impact on the industry? It would shake a table.
Oh my goodness.
That's a good question.
Baby, if I tell you who I had the secret conversation with, it's gonna shake the table.
Yeah, you asked me what I want. I'd love to know.
Jesse Jackson.
Okay.
That's it.
What
At shake the table. Shake the table. Because our brother's no longer with us.
Yeah.
And it would be unfair. So you gotta play fair. Because I will not speak of a person about any conversation, about any incidents, about anything that they cannot say yes or no to. Because when you do that, that becomes unfair to the baby. Because they don't have they can't say, well, yes, that happened or that didn't happen. But I'll just say, brother Jesse Jackson. And it wasn't a bad thing. It was just brother Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, Oprah actually recently talked about Whitney Houston in an interview. Oh, that's why you said, okay, well, there's that. She said that Whitney, kind of passed out and might have alluded to maybe.
Didn't Oprah fall on stage?
Wellness to me means all things in balance. And balance doesn't mean all things are equal or at peace at all times. Wrong shoes.
I don't know, I ain't seen it.
And we didn't see we didn't see how she tripped, nothing. She just went down. We saw that. We saw her. She was walking and bam. And everybody was like, well, she said the shoes. Okay. Well, what was wrong? So, and as we're laughing about it and making light of it, just for me, how do you speak about someone that can't defend it? That, just in my humble opinion, it takes it different. Because that woman can't say yes or no. And now you just want everybody to take your word because you're the great Oprah Winfrey. And you just take my word that that's what happened. That, I believe, is unfair. And I still love my sister, Oprah Winfrey. Let me be clear about that. People think in correction it means you don't love. It's simply just correction. And I remember Gary Owens said one time, Gary Owens, the white comedian, he said one time, how can Monique say that she love him and then she say this? Because that's called blackness. We know how we do it in our community. And I don't care how many black women you get with or marry, you're not black, so you wouldn't understand. Me saying
these are the kind of gems that she drops.
Yeah.
Even me, I've been in here in the game for 57 years, and the subject will come up, and most people don't even know that Monique even talks like this. It drops jewels. I'm sitting here mesmerized.
Me too. I really am. The ass, like yeah.
But I'm not saying anything but the truth. Right. And we've gotten so far removed from the truth. When you hear it, it makes you go, "Ooh, well, wait a minute, why?"
Yeah.
Because it's simply.
So again, Monique is vindicated because again, this is what she do. But Ricky Smiley, he also came out. There were so many people that's upset with Oprah. Now, my whole thing is these people ain't just coming out and just talking like this just now. People been feeling this way about Oprah, but she's giving them all the ammunition to come out and come against it.
I don't care if she was high or not. Whitney Houston is dead and gone and passed away. And Whitney Houston meant a lot to us. Whitney Houston was a big sister to a lot of us. I never met her personally or whatever, but I felt like she was a big sister to me. And she is pretty much Black America's auntie. And everybody got a Whitney Houston in their family, somebody that they love, that's talented, that's outspoken or whatever. But it's something about Whitney Houston's death. It's something about Whitney Houston that we took her death personally. It's like somebody in our family died. And it's hard for me to even make the live video because I get real emotional when it comes to Whitney Houston because, we don't care about none of that. And that was something that we didn't need to know. We didn't ask for that information. We didn't need to know that information. We don't care. Whitney Houston is somebody that you just don't talk about in the Black community if you're in touch. You don't talk about the Obamas. You don't talk about Whitney Houston. We sensitive about Michael Jackson. And you don't talk about the Kings. That's Black royalty that you just don't talk about. We don't play about Whitney Houston. I know I don't. Because I don't care what her downfall downfall was. We all have downfall. We all have had things that we're struggling with. We all have people in our family that's struggling with addiction, and we have lost loved ones to addiction, whatever the case may be. But why would you bring stuff like that up? Why is it when it comes to you and Gail, right after Kobe Bryant died, Gail interviewed Lisa Leslie, if I'm not mistaken, was asking her about a sexual assault case that he was found innocent of. And the fact that y'all are so out of touch with the black community and been rich so long that you don't even know not to talk about certain things a certain kind of way. Because if you was really sincere and genuine about people not filming that stuff, then you might as well have told them to film, because you brought it up and aired it out anyway. What does it matter? The only thing I can think about Whitney Houston is how I feel when she sung the Star Spangled Banner during the Super Bowl. How she made me feel when she sung with the Georgia Mass Choir, I love the Lord who heard my cry.
I disagree with Ricky Smiley is Oprah and Gail, they're not out of touch. They don't care. They got their money and they don't care about the black community. The black community is full of sellouts, especially amongst the FBA, our FBA ranks. I told y'all the biggest detractors is going to be our own people, because we've had sellouts for so long selling out the black community. This is the stuff that they've been doing. So Gail, like you said, y'all remember what Gail did right after Kobe Bryant died? We already know that. We already know. Y'all remember what, man, I ain't even going to get into that. It's just that this is just what they do, man. And so don't act like y'all shocked. Don't act like y'all shocked. What you got to do now is hold these people accountable. Hold them accountable. Don't be mad at her just for a week. No, hold her accountable to the point where she has to come out and apologize. She's out of pocket. She knows that she's out of pocket, but she knows who gonna check me, boo. That's the way that she operating. So now the ball is in y'all court, man. Let me know how y'all feel about this. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.